All right, good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading and interpreting tables and timetables. All right, so it's going to be looking at data that's going to be presented in a different way and seeing if we can answer questions based on the data that's presented. Okay, so let's take a look at this example here. All right, so we look at the first question. It says, how many planets take more than 1 day to rotate? All right, so you've got this table in front of you which is giving you information about planets, different planets, the time for revolution, the diameter, which we'll talk about in a moment, and time for rotation. So it's really important that you read the question very, very carefully. And it says, how many planets take more than 1 day to rotate? So we are looking at the end column here, time for rotation, and it's which planets take more than 1 day to rotate. All right, so you've got to think, all right, well, how many hours are there in a day? And we know there are 24 hours, okay, in a day. So we are then looking at all of the planets that take more than that 24 hours to rotate. So if we look at that there, we can see Mars is 25, Venus 243 days, and Mercury is 59. All right, we wouldn't include Earth because that's not more than 24. That is just 24 hours. All right, so those would be the three that you would put for your answer there. Okay, let's get rid of that. So reading the question is really, really important, okay, because it's going to direct you to the right part of the table. All right, so we've done that one. So it says, which planets take more than 1 year to make one revolution? Now, they deliberately put revolution and rotation there to make sure that you are really, really careful and that you look in the right column. So we're no longer looking at that end column, we're actually looking at the second column here, which is time for revolution. Let's read that question again. Which planets take more than 1 year to make one revolution? All right, so you are now thinking, and you hopefully using your knowledge of how many days there are in a year, and there's 365 days in a year. So we're looking for anything above that. All right, anything above that. That value. All right, so if we go down, we can see we've got Neptune, we've got Uranus, we've got Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and those would be the ones that you would include there. All right, so it's which planets, all right, take more than 1 year to make the revolution. I'm not going to write them all down there, but you really do need to make sure you're not just putting the number, all right, it's which planet, so we need to be specific. So if we were going to answer that question, we need to write down the names of all of those planets, okay? So again, it's about reading the question really carefully and making sure that you answer it in the right way, okay? All right. The next question here says, write the diameter of Jupiter in words. So we're going to look at Jupiter, it's just here. And then we're looking at the diameter, all right, which is this value here, all right. So we're looking at that column, all right. And the diameter is 142,984 kilometers, all right. Now, if you're not sure what diameter is, I'll try and explain that to you now. If we have a circle, it's not too bad. The diameter is, and if I say that's kind of the middle, if I can try and draw a line that goes straight through the middle. No, it wasn't very good, was it? We'll try again. If you can imagine, it's the imaginary line drawn from one side of a circle to the other side. All right, so that is the diameter. And if you had, I'll try and do it in the middle. So from here to here would be the radius, okay? And then the distance around the outside is called the circumference. All right, so you will probably be doing that next year in year 6. But now you know what the diameter is, and what you have to try and do is you have to try and write that, okay, all right, in words, 142,984. All right, and as always, try and make sure you spell it accurately as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is, what is the difference between the diameter of Mars and Earth? Now, we know where that column is. We've just been looking at it. Okay, this one here. So we're looking at Mars. Okay, now the diameter of Mars is 6,794 kilometres, and Earth's diameter is 12,756. So it's significantly bigger than Mars. All right, so we want to find the difference. Okay, and anytime we see that word there, we know we're going to need to do a subtraction. Okay, that's one of the words that we would use with, or associate rather, with subtraction. So we take the larger value first, and we'll be doing a little bit of this tomorrow actually, some column subtraction, just to make sure that we are really practicing that, and we're on top of that particular method. So you always put the bigger number on top, and then you put the smaller number underneath. And be really, really careful when you are putting your numbers in. Okay, you can see here that I'm leaving a gap in between each one, and that I am really making sure that I've got my numbers in the correct columns. All right, so you can see there the ones, all right, okay, are together. Yeah, we've got the tens together, we've got the hundreds are together, the thousands are together, and then I've just got tens of thousands there. All right, I haven't actually got a number there. Mars is a 4-digit number. All right, so once you've done that, all right, you can get on with the calculation. Okay, and we've done these calculations before, so that should be fairly straightforward. Okay, I'm just mindful of the time I'm taking to do this, because the final question says, what is the difference between the time for rotation between Mercury and Venus? All right, so it's a similar process of what we just discussed then. So time for rotation is on the end. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, and we are looking at Mercury, and we're looking at Venus, and then you've got to put the larger value on the top here, 243, and then you're going to subtract the smaller value, which is 59. Okay, so use that method, that column subtraction method there. Okay, it is a really reliable method, and it's one that we've practiced a lot. Okay, I have put some questions that I've taken from Classroom Secrets up on the website, which is similar to this. Also on this presentation, I've got a couple of the questions that would be twist it and solve it for today. So there's this one, and there's this one here, and I put the answers on the last slide. Okay, so good luck with those today, boys and girls. Really remember again, I'll just go over that again. Make sure you read the question carefully. Make sure you're looking in the correct column. If you're able to print off the sheets today, then highlighting them and annotating them is always a really good idea. All right. As I say, good luck with those, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Goodbye.